Alright guys, welcome back to the Combustion Guys YouTube channel, and today we've got some new SuperClean to check out. SuperClean all multi-purpose pressure washer concentrate removes grease, grime, mildew, and dirt. We even got ourselves a sticker. And then this is for the multi-purpose pressure wash cleaner. So let's see here. So to avoid damaging surfaces, make sure you pre-test in an inconspicuous area. So always do this with any of your SuperClean products, honestly. Wheel product, foaming, grill cleaner, regular concentrate strength. Just go ahead and double check. Make sure that you're not going to be damaging it. You always want to make sure that you're not leaving it on there. Don't let it just sit there and dry. Sometimes with how hot and dry it is, you can't really do anything about that, but just make sure that if you're going to clean something, make sure you're rinsing it off afterwards. It's not a clean and let it sit on there. You want to clean it and then rinse it off, obviously. So that's always a good idea. So we got the place to concentrate into the reservoir full strength, so we can place that into the siphon tube. We can also wash the surface with the cleaner on low pressure. So that's a good idea. Allow 5 minutes for the concentrate to sink in. Do not let it dry though, so you can let it sit in for a little bit, which you really see the difference when you do that, especially on heavy duty grime jobs. And then rinse off with water using high pressure. So that's good information to have. Alright guys, what we got here is we got a foaming cannon, which we plan on using with some of this beautiful multi-purpose pressure washer cleaner. But you can see, kind of nasty. Some of it's dust, some of it's, honestly, that's pretty caked on there. So we'll use a little bit of original SuperClean. Get ourselves a nice little rag here real quick. Now you can spray this onto just the rag itself if you want to, and then just apply. And look, no water, just scrubbing, and that's how quick this is cleaning off already, just with a little bit of SuperClean on there. Look at that. Look at how nice and clean that is compared to what it was. So a lot of this is just dust, but this stuff is really caked on there. So you can also just do a direct apply with the SuperClean. Get that nice and scraped off there. Oh, there's some tough stuff on there. Wow. Use a little fingernail to get into that groove, but man, look at how nice and clean that's coming out. That's pretty good. Flip our rag on over, add a little more SuperClean, and get this top area cleaned off. But yeah, this is a nice little foaming cannon setup, so we should be able to use this with the pressure washer and put some SuperClean in there and be able to get some nice foaming action for you guys here in a bit with another project. But just with a little bit of SuperClean, a little bit of grease, and all that caked on stuff there that I couldn't get off with my fingernail is mostly off. So a little bit more in-depth cleaning would be good, but look at how nice and clean that is compared to what it was. Very nice. And also, if you want to keep everything nice and clean, make sure you give it a nice little rinse off with a little bit of water on a rag. Get that nice and cleaned up. Get yourself another rag and get it dried off. And yeah, it looks really good. Obviously there's some stuff over here which, if I took a little more time, got my fingers in it, SuperClean would take that right off. But luckily, for what I was just wanting to demonstrate, a lot of that grime came off. It looks good. We now have the SuperClean foaming cannon, brought to you by SuperClean. It wasn't the best sticker job, but hey, you know what? It works. And also, nice place to put the sticker. Looks good. Alrighty guys, so we gotta use this here in a bit. Some SuperClean multi-purpose pressure washer concentrate. So we'll see how that goes. Alrighty guys, this shit has not been cleaned off for a long time. You can see the mildew buildup there on the top edge. And you can also see the green grime slowly growing on the outside here. Also see it on the other side a little bit, not a whole lot. But you can see if you see that grime on that top edge there. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some of the SuperClean foaming. We're going to get the entire front of this done, especially up there. And then we're going to switch over to the high power nozzle and we're going to see how well it cleans. So let's get started. Now before we can do that, we do need to fill up our cannon here, so we'll go ahead and get this unscrewed. We do have some nice adjustments here. So you check this out. If we turn this around, it opens up how wide of a stream we get. Nice thin stream right there. That is exactly what we want. Get some of our SuperClean multi-purpose. Now that should be good. We are going to end up cleaning the entire shed, so I think this should work out pretty good. But this is going to also be feeding water directly into it, so this should give us plenty of solution to be able to use. But there we go. We'll see how this works. We'll get the pressure washer pressured up, and we will get to work and see how well it does. Alright, so this is without a little bit of delicate work, but you can see the difference. So obviously you can go over some of this stuff a little bit more, but just with a little bit of super clean foaming. Look at that. Cleaned up the majority of all that black stuff on the top. Can go back through and get a little more pressure up there, and that should clean it up. And then look at over here, and that's the difference. That's nice. So obviously pressure washer does a really good job, but that came off a lot quicker than I thought it was going to, because that right there takes a very long time to get rid of. So with the super clean, definitely seems to have sped that up, because I only had to take a few passes to get the majority of all that black stuff off of there. So that is very, very nice. I like that. Also the foaming cannon works, so that's nice too. Alrighty guys, so with a bunch of work we've got the shed cleaned up. You can see that top edge there looks much cleaner now without all the extra black stuff. And you can see a lot of that green gooey ickiness came off. Still a little bit on there, which I can do a little touch up on, but just with a little bit of super clean, a lot of that stuff came on very quickly. So that is really nice. This front edge definitely gets a lot of wear and tear, so I have to see if I can get a little bits on there off with the pressure washer. But as you can see, majority of that black stuff, mildew and grime, came off really quick with the application of SuperClean. So I like that because that came off far quicker than some of the other projects that I've done before. So really like how that stuff works. So SuperClean pressure washing concentrate, definitely recommend. They also have concentrate now for your RV and black streaks. So if you're an RV and you need cleaning, that might be an option for you too. But still, look at how nice and clean that is. That is nice. Yeah, so with a little bit of SuperClean, cut out definitely probably a good 10 minutes or so of work on just this shed. So I haven't tried it out on like any concrete surfaces or anything like that, but just on that looks really good. So definitely like that. So anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. Always make sure you double check the concentrate ratings on the SuperClean. Always make sure you double check the surfaces. Luckily we don't overly care about this because it's old paint, it's worn, it's torn, so if anything happened with it, wouldn't overly mind. But it got all of the grime off and actually really didn't mess with the paint any, so that worked out good. So SuperClean for the win once again. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys here next time on the Combustion Guys. You can always use the links down below to shop SuperClean on Amazon, and you can always check out their website as well. Great people, great product, made here in America and biodegradable, so it's not going to stay stuck in the earth forever. I like it. Bye bye.